Don the Con is famous for a lot of things, among them being a convicted felon and adjudicated rapist, of stiffing nearly every contractor who ever worked for him, of losing money by owning casinos, and for being in a sham marriage to an illegal immigrant. But nothing tops Trump's ability to lie. If his mouth is moving, he's lying. And to quote Mark Twain, a Trump lie gets halfway around the world before it has to stop and back up because Trump modified the lie, and now the new lie is taking on a life of its own before the truth has time to get its shoes on. And if you're wondering, how did Mark Twain know about Diaper Donnie? STNG Season 5, Episode 26 explains everything. The other thing about Trump's lies is that he actually loves them. He's fond of his lies, and in fact, loves them more than his own children. He loves to see his lies grow, loves to feed them to the press, and loves to have others sit with them. I'm going to show footage of a MAGA Congresswoman repeating one of Trump's latest and most favorite lies because it is an important microcosm of how MAGA is operating in our political system. You simply have to see her in action, and I highly recommend being seated and protecting your jaw from falling onto various surfaces. First, the original lie test balloon.
Doge and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money.
Then Mango Mussolini repeats the lie.
In that process, we identified and stopped $50 million being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. 50 million. And you know what's happened to them? They've used them as a method of making bombs. How about that?
And then Donnie Demented not only tells the lie again, but like a doting father, helps it to grow in size and stature.
He's a very talented guy from the standpoint of management and costs. And we put him in charge of seeing what he can do with certain groups and certain numbers. Some of the numbers are horrible, what he's found. Think of it, $100 million on condoms to Hamas. Condoms to Hamas. And many other things that are frankly even more ridiculous.
And of course, as a White House reporter who needs access to do their job, this reporter says nothing. Nothing like $100 million on condoms? Really? $100 million? Are they selling them on the aftermarket for a profit? How exactly does Hamas make use of $100 million worth of condoms? Well, okay, you wouldn't ask the last question because then the old duffer would go off on how they use them to make bombs. But as is usually the case, the commander-in-chief gets no pushback for making insane lies. And we frequently refer to the MAGA morons who believe these lies, but it's still too hard to comprehend that anybody in their right mind could believe it. Is there really anyone that stupid who actually believes the lie? Not just goes along with it because they want to empower Trump, but actually believes it? Well, yes. And as frightening as it is, it's a congresswoman. Watch this.
$50 million for condoms in Gaza, for example.
Congresswoman.
No, but these are real things.
No.
You guys are rolling your eyes like as if these are not actual line items. These are actual line items.
We know that there was not $50 million spent for condoms in Gaza.
Okay.
There was $0 spent on condoms in the Middle East. That is a complete falsehood and a lie.
So the White House put that out there as a
I'm not going to blame you for it. I'm going to blame.
It wasn't Gaza in the
I'm going to
Middle East.
blame the White House. I'm
where
going to
did it
blame
go?
the
Where did it
president,
go?
Congresswoman. I'm going to blame the president who upped the dollar amount to $100 million. It is false.
Well, it's
okay?
50 million as far as I know.
It is false. There is zero. The answer is zero.
How is
There's
it-
none. So you cannot use that as an example.
As a Republican.
So let's be clear. This congresswoman, Nicole Malliotakis, is not cynically trying to spin this lie. She actually believes it. Hence her equally stupid response, these are actual line items, followed up by, where did it go? And here, CNN host Abby Phillip really blew it by not having the facts at her fingertips. Where did it go? Well, here's where it went, to the least populated province of Mozambique, Gaza. And on top of it, the expenditure was not solely for condoms, but for oral contraception as well. So, okay, Philip didn't have the facts right there, but she at least stood her ground on the fact that it was a lie. And Congresswoman Malliotakis notices no one else is pushing back. And in fact, everyone is rolling their eyes at her. Yes, that's because she's on national television displaying her ignorance. But the best part has got to be her incredulousness that the White House would lie. That's not in the realm of possibility for her. This is a congresswoman from New York. She represents Brooklyn and Staten Island. And the idea that the Trump White House, that the con man from Queens could actually lie has never crossed her consciousness? You gotta start asking, what's in the water in Staten Island and Brooklyn? It's actually hard to decide who I'd rather have in the House. Someone this ignorant or someone as cutthroat like the former Representative Guy Molinari? I mean, at the very least, you could get a good red sauce out of Molinari. So now, here we are. First, George Santos, and now Nicole Malliotakis. New York, there is really nothing left to say but that you are really becoming the New York Jets of American politics. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.